all, it's Matt with Family Tradition Farms. Got a little bit of a different video for you guys today. If you are in southern Indiana, southern Illinois, northern Kentucky, even parts of southern Missouri, you know what's fixing to hit this weekend, Sunday into Monday. Today's date is the 4th, so tomorrow's the 5th, and then Monday's the 6th. We got a big winter storm coming. Big. I mean, they're talking like a ½ inch of ice that's expected to hit me here in southern Indiana, and also anywhere from 2 to 34 inches of snow. Nobody knows. We're all over the place. But what everybody is saying is we're going to get a massive winter storm. And I'll be honest, we're not prepared for it here in southern Indiana. We get maybe one storm every few years, but this is going to be a big one. I'm underprepared, so I'm working hard today to make sure we got shovels and snow melt, and they're expecting widespread power outages, so making sure that we got fuel for the generators, and we're just kind of scrambling. But as far as tractors and farm stuff goes, the 4430, we finally got it going. Got the hydraulic leak on the axle fixed, got the steering fixed. We're going to probably end up needing it this tomorrow, maybe Monday. So she's low on fuel, so we got to fill up the redneck Thunder Creek behind me, run up to the road and get some diesel fuel. We're going to come back down, and we're going to go ahead and hook it to the grader blade back behind me. It's probably not going to do anything. In fact, I know it's not going to do anything for ice, but if we get a bunch of snow, and if you look at the map, I mean, we're talking like 30 miles, maybe a difference between a huge ice storm and a huge snowstorm. So if we get that snow, I need to be able to clear it, because the county doesn't take care of our roads. They don't. They're worried about the highway. They're worried about main roads. We don't live on one of those. So I got to take care of it myself, because if I got to get to work or we got to get into town, I got to take care of it myself. So anyways, we're going to get the 4430 filled up with fuel, get the grader blade hooked up, probably go ahead and keep some fuel set aside for the 806. I hope not to use it, because with it being open station, it's cold. I've done that before. I got a cab. I'm going to use the cab tractor. And then otherwise, we're just checking fluid, getting ice melt, kind of getting everything ready. If we do get a big snow, which I'm kind of hoping we do, I haven't had one in a while, I'll catch you guys tomorrow, probably Monday, while we're out and about clearing. Hopefully we get some pretty good footage of maybe blowing some big snow drifts on the road. As flat as we are, we end up getting massive snow drifts. I mean, I've seen them as tall as 5-6 foot sometimes on a couple inches of snow. It just blows and just drifts something crazy. So anyways, I'm gonna clip the old ear flaps down, and we're gonna see if we can get the tractor fired up and get her hooked up to the grader blade. Yeah, let's go ahead and check the oil. Do have a little bit of an oil leak right at the base of the oil filter, but it's nothing bad. It's more just kind of a seep. Good on engine oil. I'm pretty sure we're a little low on hydraulic oil, just because of the leak we had on the rear axle, but we'll check. Yep, we're okay. And while I do have the block heater, I forgot to plug it in. So we'll see if she's gonna start without the block heater. Guess I need to clear this cab out. I still haven't cleaned it out since hauling corn this fall. All right, here we go. Oh yeah! Well, while we're waiting on the 4430 to get warmed up, as cold as it is, I wanted to let that hydraulic pump really get to moving that fluid before we tried steering and raising the 3-point and stuff like that. But while we're letting it warm up, I did get an update on the storm that's coming. There's another guy on YouTube we follow. His name is Ryan Hall. If you don't follow him, I highly suggest you guys follow him. He's very, very accurate and very detailed on tornadoes and hurricanes and storms, and in this case, winter weather. Now, typically, I would like to hear my local town, you know, shout out on a guy with tens of thousands of views on YouTube, but in this case, I don't like it when he says Evansville, Indiana. Yeah, that's not good. That's like 4 or 5 miles from here. He said that we were in a potentially life-threatening situation. Now, my understanding of what that entails is that because of as cold as it's going to be, with the ice we're expecting and with the wind we're expecting, they're probably going to have widespread power outages. And because we're expecting single-digit temperatures, it's going to be dangerously cold, guys. We're already kind of sealing up windows and doors and figuring out which rooms in the house we can close off. That way, if it does get to that point, we can stay in maybe the living room and kind of bundle up and huddle together. Now, the scary part's going to be for elderly people and, of course, in our situation, really young children. We're going to figure it out. We're going to make do with what we can. We can prep as best we can, but in the end, we're just going to have to ride it out tonight and then through tomorrow and see what we actually get. So, guys, by the time I post this video, the storm's going to be gone. I'm not going to do any editing while we're cooped up inside because I'm going to have to conserve battery, and I highly doubt we're going to have any electricity to recoup that battery. So by the time you see this, it's liable to be 40 degrees outside and no snow on the ground. But anyways, I felt like you might want to know what's going on in my little town in southern Indiana, just so as many other towns in the Midwest are experiencing, it's going to be pretty gnarly for the next few days. Get these locked down. Yep. So I'm gonna look when I get in the shop. I don't know if I might want to try to pivot this over so the blade actually sticks out farther. So if I do have to clear snow, I can clear a little bit past my tire tracks, because it really doesn't stick out much farther past the tires as it is, but I'd like to get a little bit more off to one side maybe. Let's get pulled up here to the old we'll call her the Lightning Pond fuel trailer. A little different than a Thunder Creek, but you know, does the same thing. What's the old saying? It ain't fancy, but it's paid for. Yep, that applies. It takes a little while, but doesn't cost anything. Barrel, free, pump, couple $100. Yeah, this is way cheaper than one of them pull behind fuel trailers. We'll put about 15 gallons in it. Check and see where we're at. We had about a quarter tank left in the tractor. So I don't really know exactly where that was at, but yeah, we'll check it here in just a second. Well, we're not quite completely full, but I gotta save some fuel for the 806, so yeah, we got about 10, maybe 11 gallons left in there. That'd be enough for the 806. I need to put some in there just to be safe. Okay, about the only other thing I want to do, probably wipe off that windshield. Never done that after hauling corn. And I got some new air filters to put in it. I have not replaced the air filters since I own the tractor, and I picked some up, so might as well throw those in there, just, you know, because we're going to be possibly working it quite a bit here in the next few days. Probably makes sense to go ahead and put some new air filters in it. Shoot, I don't even know if they need them, but we're going to put some in there. John Deere definitely thought about a lot when they built these tractors. They kind of hid the air filters away. Everything on these SoundGuard cab series is just clean, other than this tractor. It's actually pretty dirty. But build-wise, they did a really good job on it. This here's just your air filter, and we'll just take him off, and Oh gosh dang, she's tight. Better put some pliers on that. Pop him off, put some fresh air filters in there, and we should be good to go. Well, on the plus side, guy before me definitely got his money worth. 404. This filter is 20 years old, and it's pretty gross. But you know, I've seen worse. The secondary filter is really not bad. I'll get a nut and spin that off, and it's not bad. I'm impressed. Looks like some gunk. Shit, that's a snake skin. Oh, that's not cool. We do have a new cab filter here. Probably not going to worry about putting that in right now. The one that's in there is really not too bad. That's just kind of before planting season. I want to get that stuck in there. So we got 2 new air filters, and that's a surprise for you guys. We'll have a video on that fun stuff here in probably a couple months. That's going on the old planter. Yep, we'll get these filters stuck in there. It only took a couple hours, but we got the 4430 ready to go. Got the grader blade hooked up to it. I was not able to move that shaft, so I actually think this guy here is loose. I can move him, slide him and out, but this pin here will not allow it to pivot. I threw some grease in it. The bottom grease took grease, the top did not. So I'm pretty sure we're just seized up here. Probably have to just hook a chain onto that side with the 806 and yank it and get it to break free. Not going to worry about that for tomorrow. I just went ahead and pinned it back up. Dropped the clevis in on the back here, just in case I got to pull anybody out. Obviously, we want to be safe while we're doing it. I got a chain, which I don't like using the chain, but if I have to, I will. I got a big tow strap in the cab. I'd much rather use that. If a tow strap breaks, it's not going to explode your head if it comes back and hits you. Went ahead and dropped tire pressure down to 10 on the rears on both sides, just so I get a little extra traction. These tires are pretty worn as is, but any extra ground contact I can get will help in the snow. Got the block heater plugged in. That way she should fire up relatively easy tomorrow if we need it. Got the front end all greased up after we replaced the steering arm over here. Got that new arm. She steers tight. Steers really good, actually. I'm super happy with how that worked out. Got it all greased. I did clean my windows off. Tried using glass cleaner, but guess what? It's frozen. So we just wiped it off. Good enough. So yeah, about all we can do now is head back to the house. Oh, we're gonna go ahead and pull the 4-wheeler in here. That way it's a little bit easier to access. The 806 is sitting in the barn over there. It's plugged in, the batteries are. So hopefully if we need it, it'll start. It is what it is. I'm going to rely on the 4430 for tomorrow if we need to. I'm going to keep the fuel tank in the back of the Ranger. That extra 10 gallons, it'll add, I don't know, 80 pounds or so to the back. That Ranger's light in the rear end, so any extra weight we can put back there will help if we have to get out. I'm hoping I don't have to get out with the Ranger, intending not to. I have the 4-wheel drive farm truck, the Dodge Ram, if I need to, but it's there. So yeah, that's going to be about it for today as far as, I guess call it snow prep goes. We're going to just head back down to the house, kind of hunker down and wait for everything to get here. Should get here sometime this evening. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and head back down to the house. It's been pretty non-eventful today. Just doing some little knickknacks down here down the shop. Got to grab some shovels while I'm down here. That way we can clear our driveway, at least the steps if need be. That's going to be it. We're seeing already Iowa's getting hammered with ice. It's coming this way. The storm prediction, or National Weather Service did predict the ice is going to go a little bit farther south, but we're still in the line to get some ice. Hopefully it gets cold enough that most of that will change to snow. I know right now it's about 33 degrees, which it may be snow, maybe freezing rain. It all depends. So all we can do is head back to the house, hunker down, and see what comes tomorrow. I'll catch you guys in the morning. Hi everybody. been a day. Saturday was when we first shot the video. Sunday was a wild ride. I mean, it was freezing rain pretty well all day long. We lost power for a little while. We went and hunkered down at mom and dad's. Luckily, we did get power back on pretty quickly. We were only down for about a few hours. So today's Monday morning. Work's closed. We're pretty well in a state of emergency. The highway appears to be moving okay. Back behind us, people are moving on it. Man, this side road that I live on it's bad. On top of that, driveways are just covered. I've got 3 driveways that I maintain that I need to get cleared off so that people can at least get to and from work if need be. So we're gonna get the old 4430 fired up. Block heater's been on. Block's good and warm. Shouldn't have any problem with that. Then we're gonna take off, see if we can move some, I would say snow, but see if we can move some ice. Got the block heater on. Oh yeah, she's getting warm. Shouldn't have any problems there. Didn't even think twice about it. Get pulled out of here. We're gonna just let it warm up outside. As you can see, we are sitting in a winter wonderland. Take in some of this trash and we'll let her warm up for a little bit before we take off. There's just something incredibly satisfying about watching that snow and ice just kind of like a wave just crash over off to the side. We ran up here to the highway first. Highway departments do a good job of clearing the main roads, but they really don't do a good job of the intersections. So we went ahead and cleared off the intersection, just the median between the highway, working on clearing off the turnoff onto our road. Then we're going to make some long passes. I've had a couple cars pass us on the road, and they are able to move. It's a lot of ice, so I want to get at least one pass clear where it's a little bit safer for these people to travel. So I'm going to take off, and then I'll pick back up and show you guys how it's working. Yeah, so as you can see, the plow trucks have come through once. Honestly, I think they came through in the middle of the night because the snow that we've gotten early this morning has kind of drifted back over the road. So we're really not moving a whole lot, but we are making a clean pass for people to get through. I was worried that the highway would have put some salt or sand or something down, but they literally just plowed it. So I'm just moving some more ice and some more snow out of the way. We're pretty well just gonna keep going straight and hopefully get this main road cleared. Power lines really tell the story of how much ice we got. And look how hard they are grouped. They're just covered with ice. And that's why we have power outages. Those lines sag so hard and they end up breaking or tree limbs fall on them, and that's the real problem, is the ice, not the snow. And look, these power lines are almost to the ground. I mean, if I didn't scoot over, I would literally be hitting them with just the cab of the tractor here. That's wild. Oh man, up here they are on the ground. Yeah, I'm sure that's resulted in some power outages for sure. They are, yeah, they're in the ditch. That's a scary sight for sure. And right up here, just as expected, along this woods, that line always breaks right there. Probably had a tree come down on it, and it's just broken. It'll take a while for them to get that fixed, unfortunately. Made it basically all the way down Caburn. It's the main road here. We did get basically stopped. There's a tree across the road. I'm not in the tractor that's set up to get that cleared off. I've got a chain and a strap, but I'm just not in a position. It's down across some power lines. I'm not going to mess with it. We got it plowed up to there. We opened up access to several side roads in case there is an emergency. The hard part about clearing snow in this area is we're so flat that the wind, it continues to blow stuff back across. Like, I already cleared this side, and just in the 10 minutes or so that I've been gone from here, it's already started to kind of drift back over. So it's tough, but you kind of have to just stay on top of it. We're not moving much as far as volume goes, but we are clearing it off. Down here, we call this down in the bottoms. It's a lot more real thick ice for some reason, and the blade's just not wanting to grab it, get underneath it, and move it out of the way. But we are at least getting the big chunks pushed off to the side. And I did get it cleared by those power lines, at least on the side of the road where it's safe to drive on. So hopefully anybody that comes through is paying attention and they realize that only one side of the road is cleared, and that's the side they need to travel on. Here, maybe we'll go ahead and plow off Mom and Dad's driveway. We really didn't get that much snow. It just always seems to drift right in front of the garage, so Mom can't get her car out. But that's all right. Makes pretty quick work with the old 4430 and the grader blade. Well, I think that's gonna just about do it. We got most of the main road cleared. Unfortunately, like I said earlier, with the wind blowing, there's still some snow that's gonna drift across, but it is at least passable now. Got my driveway cleared, got my parents' driveway cleared, got the driveway here at the shop cleared, got the median at the highway cleared. We got quite a bit of snow moved. Well, snow and ice. The 4430 and the grader blade, man, she did great. I'm very happy with how it performed. If anything, it got too hot in the cab. I had to turn the heater down. She was starting to get a little warm in there, but I'm just not used to having heat working in the winter. So I think that's going to just about do us. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and like it. Hit that subscribe button and go ahead and hit that little bell while you're at it, because that's going to notify you anytime I drop a new video to the farm channel. Appreciate you hanging out with us, guys. Thanks, and y'all have a good one.